There we are. Oh my goodness, it's only been a couple weeks and it's like
I know.
I'm totally slacking here.
It's Monday. It's Monday in 2021. And like normally school doesn't go back on Monday. At least we usually have part of this week off, but whenever we go back, Monday is usually not a school day, but today's a school day.
Oh, so they started back on a Monday, because I know usually it's like what, Wednesday or something.
Yep.
Really weird.
Or Tuesday or whatever. So yeah, school is back. And
so life can be back to normal. I always get the holidays always mess me up. I thought maybe with it being on a Friday, it wouldn't be as bad as when it's in the middle of the week, but nope, still messed me up completely. No idea what day it is. I mean, my husband's schedule does not help me because I can't keep track of that.
Right.
Got to do a little camping. It snowed.
It did snow.
That was really needed. Like, it's a very rare, like it barely snows up here 5 times last year. Usually when it snows, it's gone by 5. You would never even know it snowed. So it's like, take all the pictures because it'll be here for 3 hours and then it's gone.
Right.
Whereas it lasted like 3 days. I mean, I kind of freaked out a little bit because Jesse's present was like a whole speaker system that we got like in October, and her install date was the day after Christmas. And I'm freaking out like I don't know anything. Like, is there black ice? Like, I have 4 inches of snow on my car. I don't know what to do. And, what is my car going to be able to drive? Like, they don't salt. They don't have snowplow. Like, I don't know what to do. And yeah, we were late and I'm trying to explain to them, like, look, Florida girl, like I couldn't even get in my car. Like I thought my door was going to fall off. I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. That's my fault. Sorry about that. Trying to get my 2 screens going. I'm still not like up to date on how to do 2 screens. Oh my God.
It was interesting, but like a once in a lifetime to have snow on Christmas. It's been such a weird, such a weird year.
Yep.
So I think that really helped a lot to have that kind of snow. Is absolutely, I've always loved seeing the pictures on Facebook from Florida.
Yep.
But seeing it in person, I mean, it's incredible. And knowing that it's not something I have to deal with all the time. It's very rare. Like, that's even better. Because I couldn't do it all the time.
It was a little treat to get you back in the spirit and get ready for 2021. So let's sort of jump right in. It's 2021. Hopefully we've left all of 2020 behind us. But I will say, I mean, I think for a lot of us, at least in real estate, and too excited about this. A lot of people had a really good year. So that's really awesome. And it makes starting 2021 off, exciting. So for everybody that joined us for our business planning, we did business planning in October, and we did 4 one-hour sessions where we kind of broke it down, where we could really look at our business plan and really work on what we wanted to do. So we thought we would take today and just do a quick recap for those of you who have not done your business plan. And if you want the materials for the business planning, just message me after, and we will get you a digital book. So
I'll put the link in there too.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. So the big thing is the first thing is, what's your vision for 2021? What do you see happening with you and your business, and where do you want to go? What's your personal vision, and what's your professional vision? And I know that Heather, when we did our vision boards, she had a new vehicle on there. She did have a Ford Bronco, one of the new Ford Broncos, but that's kind of an unknown. So she went back to a tried and true, and she got herself a new Jeep. So that's super awesome. Yeah.
My first check off of my vision board, which, I mean, I'm probably going to be jealous when the Broncos come out, but where I live, it's complete Jeep country.
Yeah.
And seeing all the clubs and the meetups. So I'm doing my first Jeep ride through Cades Cove this weekend. It's, the Jeep family is like so big, and I've had Jeep. So I just decided, I'm going to go with the tried and true instead of the brand new unknown, as cute as they are.
Right. They are cute, I have to say.
And, it's, who knows when the Broncos, now it's fall. So
right.
I was like, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll just make my double payments, and in the fall, if I like it, I'll do it. But I don't know. And there's so many accessories, and I kind of, I fell in love with one on our last camping trip. Never would like white. I'm like, I've had yellow, I've had teal. Like, I want the crazy colors. I don't like to be like anybody else. And I saw this white one, and it had blue accents, like blue rims, blue
there you go.
The doors.
Cool.
And I was like, dee, 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 dee.
That's awesome.
So when I saw this white one, I'm like, sold.
So one of my things that I got to check off too was I wanted to pay off some debt, and I had a good December. And a lot of times, I don't know, you start doing stuff, or you plan a vacation or whatever, and before you know it, you paid nothing off. All the money's gone, and time to sell more houses. So because I'm not traveling, I've got to pay off some debt. I have had my eye on a purse that is, and I'm embarrassed to admit how much the purse is, but I will, the purse is $1,200, and I love this purse, but I did not buy it because I am paying off debt. Yes, I know what that's.
Can't you get it at the outlet stores?
Not this one. No, not yet. And even on sale, like I was looking at places on sale, and even with the sale, the best I'm getting it is $1,000. I know it's crazy, but I haven't. Anyway, I paid off debt, so that's the first thing on my vision board that I got to check off. So that was good.
Oh my God. No, Jeannie sends me the link, so I get all the Kate Spade emails. So I just wait for those. But my favorite purse is the one I won at bingo.
Well, there you go. Well, I did buy one on sale Tory Burch. It was 60% off. So I'll even show it just because I love it. This is little, but the one that I love is like, it's gorgeous, it's big, whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to be better about my spending, and I've always been pretty good, but so I'm glad to have paid that stuff off. So think about, what's your vision. If you haven't done a vision board, what's kind of exciting and new for this year that we haven't done in the past, we would always collect the magazines. We go to our hair salons and try to get some stuff that was architectural as well. But now online vision boards there's
Canva worked. that almost made that easier. And
right.
Now it's digital, so I can change the size that I need it for. I need to print it for my little cork board and the new office space that I've got.
I know, it looks awesome. It looks awesome.
That's my excitement.
Yeah, it looks really good. So you can make a vision board. There's so many apps out there to do it. I think Heather and I both did ours in Canva. So if you haven't done a vision board, I know it may seem goofy or frivolous or girly or kid-like, but it really helps you hone in on.
When you see that every day, it's different. I've always done the book, but doing the vision board, which I thought was a little silly and elementary and childlike, but having that poster board and, behind my computer on my wall that I had to look at every single day, it's almost like your whys and the words that are powerful to you. And that was almost a game changer versus looking through every quarterly. Yes, I need that. And, when COVID first hit, the first thing I do is grab my book. What can I be doing that's on, my to-do list, that I can't do, other things because of COVID or whatnot. But so that part, but that visual, that's been a complete game changer to look at your whys and what you want to do on a personal and professional level. It got us to do this.
Which
was on our boards for a couple years.
Right, a couple of years. So we're finally doing it. So, and that's important too. If it was on your board from 2 years ago and you still haven't done it, there's still time. That doesn't mean you failed. That just means and that brings me to the next thing. What are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing? What are you going to do more of? And what are you going to do less of? So as you look at your business from last year, what's worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? If it's not working for you, if you are doing, I can't think of an example. If you're doing newspaper ads and that's not doing anything for you, probably time to give that up and put your energy elsewhere. Although I still think that there is definitely room for some print advertising, because you still, especially here in Florida, you still have people who are looking at the newspaper or whatever. For me, one of the things that I have had a lot of success with, and I've told people this in a couple of the different classes we've taught, is postcards. It seems so old school, but if you're mailing postcards to your sphere,
consistently,
or your farm, it has to be consistent. So that's one of the things I'm going to do more consistency with my postcards to my farm. Although I did get one mailed back to me from somebody, like with her address circled and notes on it, and basically take me off your list. So we took her off our list. So
it happens.
You can't please everyone, but that's worked for me. I have had sellers who are snowbirds, and so they'll get the postcard. When it's in the off season, the postcard will go to their address wherever they are in another state. And I have had sellers carry the postcards down to Florida, and when they get here, call me and say, "I want to meet you," and then they pull them out of their drawer, or their purse, or wherever, and they say, "Yeah, I've been getting your postcards." So.
It's crazy how long people hold those things. It
is. So it's what are the things that have worked for you and that you should maybe look at doing more of? If it's pay-per-clicks or Google advertising, or I don't want to mention the big Z word, but if that works for you, do you consider doing more of it? And then whatever's not working, stop doing it.
And I think when you evaluate your business, that's when you can decide, like, when you have to go through the numbers part, which is probably the least favorite, but I think it's the most eye-opening when you see how much you're actually spending on things. A lot of tools and systems that I use, maybe one has added a ton of features, which basically allows me to eliminate another one because
right.
then added into this platform. Well, why pay for both when now they everything's in one? So really look at what you're spending on systems and tools. What do you already have available to you? I mean, if you're with Remax, looking into all of these other tools that you have, looking, it's all about working harder and not spending crazy money. I mean, the number is big. I mean, I see how much money I spend on my son's stuff, and I'm like, dude, you're 20, have a job. This can be all on your new, your card, your account now.
And this is what you said. This is one of the most painful parts of the business plan, but this is the most important part because it really hones in on on your personal, what does it cost you to live? And B, in your business, what are you spending and where is the overlap? Where are you spending on something that you might be spending twice on, or do you have two, do you have Canva and something else, and they're both so similar that you don't really need both,
Right. I was paying for Canva, Crello, and PicMonkey.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't been on PicMonkey in over a year. So I can cancel that. I used it a couple times and decided I use Canva for everything. So I don't, why am I paying? I mean, and that saves me a couple $100 a year, right? Just one platform alone. And and when you go do those numbers and you see what are you paying for that you're not really utilizing.
Right.
I mean, if you're paying for all of these online leads, but you don't have a system for follow-up, a sort of drip campaign, maybe a video campaign, if you're horrible at the follow-up on the phone and it's just not working for you, then don't do it. I mean, you have all that and it is working and you're doing good at it, because we know a lot of agents that Wonderful with all those online lead gen. If there's a positive return on something you're paying for,
do it. Keep doing it. Get rid of something else that's not working and do what's working for you and expand on that. I was talking to one of the agents in the office the other day, and she does really well with online lead gen, but she has been afraid to do expireds. And I was like, but it's so similar. Like, why are you afraid to do expireds? But she feels like the people are already upset or mad, or so she's afraid to call them. But she's so good on the phone. I mean, she's so good on the phone. And so she's going to add in expireds this year because, along with 4,200 realtors in Brevard County, but not everybody's good on the phone. So some of these people are doing expireds and they're not good at it, but if you're good at the phone and talking to people, do it, so figure out what you're missing out on that your skills will help you be good at, for sure. And so then what are the 10 things that you're going to do consistently? So, and there's a lot of things to choose from, but try and, pick 10 that are good. So we have internet lead generation, community events. I mean, that's good if you join. Some people are members of Candlelighters, and that's a good way of networking. Strategic alliances, whether that's with your plumber or your electrician or whatever it is, it might even be with a restaurant, any kind of advertising. Is door knocking something you're going to do? Are you going to work on for sale by owner, or like we like to call them FSBOs, expireds, like we just mentioned? Open houses. We had an agent here who moved away, my friend Pat Murphy, and she was the queen of Suntree open houses. I mean, she would do open houses every single weekend, and she would double end so many deals because she would get those buyers, those people that didn't have an agent yet and weren't really ready to move, and then she would just cultivate them. She put them in her CRM. She was a big user of Top Producer. She was a big user of it. She tried to teach me how to use it. I was like, oh, this is just too much. I mean, it's too much.
There's so much in there. And gosh, I remember back when I tried to use it, it was like I had to use a totally different computer because it wasn't updated.
Oh, yeah. Well, now it's even like now it's updated and it has even more stuff. But so is open house, a thing that you're good at. For me personally, I don't love them. So I'm not good at them. I don't convert very well. So maybe it's something I shouldn't be doing. Do you need to look at your social media and be doing more of that? Or are you spending too much time doing social media and it's not working for you? I don't know. Your geographic farm. Have you set one up? Have you figured out what yours is? Is it around where you live, or is it around an area that you just want to break into? I mean, for me, it's around where I live, where my kids go to school, where my office is, where I network, where I do community events. So I hope that it all ties in, and then there's name recognition, when they see my name as giving to the high school, and then they see my ad and then they get my postcard, is that working? Are you doing postcards? Are you sending out personal notes? Is that one of the 10 things you're going to do? We've talked a lot about this, Heather and I, this year, about reaching out to your sphere and just send them a personal note. I'm thinking of you, if you didn't do a Thanksgiving card or you didn't do a holiday card, you could do a New Year card. It may be a little late. Sometimes I do it because I'm Irish. I do a St. Patrick's Day card and I'll include a scratch-off ticket, but personal notes. Any clubs or committees? Many of you guys know. I mean, Heather was involved with the autism group, right, for many years, and I was involved with Boy Scouts for many years, and I've gotten a lot of referrals that way. So are the clubs and the committees that you're belonging to. Is that paying off? Or are you a member of one that hasn't paid off at all? Because everybody, we know everybody knows at least 5 realtors. So are you in a group where everybody's got somebody already and this is not,
I still get referrals from, being a team mom for Jesse's cheerleading.
Right? So yeah.
Just finding your tribe.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. I mean,
clubs, your kids' sports, just really being involved and finding your little tribe of people because they know, like, and trust you, and hone in on that.
Yeah, for sure. So, or is it distressed owners, which, if it were me, that's not on my list anymore. Oh my God, we did so many of them back. And I remember I did my first short sale. It was me and Joy Frankel. It was Joy's listing, and I had the buyer, and it was when we were at Remax 2000 in 2006. We felt like we were the first two people in the world to have done a short sale. We had no clue what we were doing, but we did it and we got it done. And that just launched us into the short sale business. Cause then we came over here to Remax Elite, and our owner, Justin, at the time was very big in us getting that designation. And so then we all, really got into that. If I don't ever see a short sale again, although I just made an offer on one for a buyer yesterday. I know. So, but
it's crazy with the way the market is.
Yeah, but isn't that right? That's scary, right? That's what I think. That's scary if you're doing a short sale now. But or we used to do a lot of foreclosure property, and that kind of dried up. And is it time to start trying to get back into that? Because maybe that'll start happening in a few years from now. And it's always better if you're on it from the beginning than the middle or the end.
And that's another thing with, adding to your business plan, education. I mean, the seminars, the stuff, now it's easier than ever because almost everything is online, or it's pre-recorded, or you get the recording. So you don't really have to travel to go to, and there's so many different events, but education is key because you need to stay on top of the real estate trends nationwide, because what may happen in one area, we got a ton of insight with, the online stuff and because it's really big, like in Arizona before it hit Florida, and talking with brokers and agents and how they're able to utilize that in their business. So it's not hurting them. They're able to incorporate it. Knowing all of that before it hits us is really key. And had we not gone to events, you don't know who to reach out to because it's new, but staying on top of complete real estate trends to educate yourself, because a lot of people that were doing that foreclosure business, when that dried up, it's like you start to see it slow down, but you're still that tunnel vision.
Yep.
Instead of like, oh, this is slowing down, I need to kind of get back into old traditional style before I get pushed out of the business. And I think that is where education, different events, networking with different agents across, because it's almost like it's a trend.
Yep.
We'll start in one, certain areas, and then slowly
trickles down everywhere else. So if you've networked and you've met whoever, like just say whoever in Phoenix, Arizona, where short sales started, or if you know that guy, then when it starts to trickle here, that's an easy phone call. Hey, Jim, tell me about this. How do I get into this? How am I doing that? That's really, and for me, this online learning, the online learning or doing events online has enabled me to do events that I haven't been able to do in the past. Like we're members of a relocation thing, and I've never gone to that because it's Pittsburgh in the winter, and nothing against Pittsburgh. My sister used to live there, but I've been there many times in the winter, and who wants to be in Pittsburgh in the winter? But this year, that whole summit was online, and they may do it online next year because it was so successful. The attendance was up. It's not just that people don't travel because of the COVID or cost prohibitive. Some people just don't want to. It's the time. You don't have the time to. There's only so many days in the year. And for me, I always try to be conscious of how often I'm away from home because of my kids. I don't want to be gone all the time. So So here's another one, new construction. Do you want to hone in on new construction and really know what's going on in the area so that when somebody has new construction, you are up on it, you know who's building what and where. I think that's something we should all keep up with all the time, honestly. Whether or not I have buyers for Titusville, I should probably know what's going on there so that when I do have the one, I'm ready. I've done my homework. I've got that information ready to go.
Especially right now with inventory being at a historic low. I mean, I've been in real estate for 20 years. I have never seen it this crazy.
1.4 months of inventory right now in our MLS. That's nothing. And what's crazier is we are year over year, year over year, we're selling more than we did a year ago when the inventory was much higher. So it's coming on the market, and unless it's priced ridiculously high, it is gone. It's gone.
Right.
Yeah,
I think the average, it was like 14 days on the market, 12, something. I mean, something crazy like that. But so knowing what that new construction inventory is, I mean, that's just adding more to what's available and maybe being able to like, oh, but this is what's out here. Let's go look at some new construction if that's even a possibility. But I mean, you need to know all of that. So whatever areas, the builders, get to know them, do it.
Well, that's good too, because whenever I have somebody, I'll just text one of my guys with whoever, hey, what do you guys have in inventory, whatever, and they look out for me. I've built a relationship with them. What about radio or ads? Is anybody doing that? I mean, that you don't ever see the return. Like nobody's going to go, oh, I heard your ad on the radio, but it's name recognition. And it just, is reinforcing that you are a leader in the community. And you already said seminars and webinars and podcasts and live videos. Are you going to do more of that? Several of us, are going to do more of that. We're going to continue to do this. And we both said on Friday, I think it was, that we're going to try and do more personal video email as well.
Yeah, because I definitely, that's been the hardest part, I think, of all of 2020 is feeling so disconnected.
Yeah.
Even in Florida, like people just aren't in the office. I mean, they're crazy busy. So it's, trying to grab people or have those, that face-to-face. And that's been my biggest struggle and hurdle. So I'm like, okay, I need to send video emails, just more personal one-to-one versus I know we're doing all these live in the classes but that's a little different. So to me, it's not a perfect solution, but with right now, that's kind of my only solution. And I don't want it to just be a regular email. To me, it's more personal.
Right. Well, it's interesting too, because we're doing some mastermind groups for this year. So we had a bunch of agents set up, and I did my first survey that I sent out from Google Sheets. You'd be proud of me. I did it all on my own. The first attempt was not good because it didn't automatically tell me who filled it in. So it was anonymous. So then
SurveyMonkey is free.
Yeah, I know, but I was trying to just use, I pay for G Suite. So I was like, oh, let me see what Google has. So I did.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, Google Forms. I said Sheets, it was Forms. Anyway, but it doesn't tell you who responded. So I had these responses and I didn't know who they were. And I needed to know because it was like, do you want to meet in person? Do you want to meet via Zoom? Do you want to meet like this? Do you want to meet like that? And there's one group that is going to.
So on the forms, if you add email address.
Yeah, I didn't do that at first because I assumed it would just do it. Like I was like, why wouldn't it have done that? But I get it now. So I had to resend it out. So we'll see how successful I was. But there's several that just want to do it via Zoom because, and I thought this was interesting. Whatever they're working on, they felt like if they were in their own space, they had their own computer, so you could kind of, oh, this is what I'm doing, and they could maybe share each other's screens. They felt that was a better way to do it. So I thought that was cool. I thought that because I usually like in person, but at the same time, I like being in my little environment, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have this thing. Let me share it with you. It's on my computer. And you could do it.
I know the ones that I meet, they love it because they don't have to do anything special to come into the office or anything. Like they just.
Sometimes that's done 20 minutes just to get there, and you want to get there early. So then that's a 10 minutes of socializing. So that's a half an hour on each end to an hour-long meeting. So now it's a 2-hour-long meeting, so. And then the last thing is business review.
All about linking the ones. I think people are just more comfortable with that now.
Yeah.
Even the ones that weren't.
Yeah, that too, for sure. Once you've started doing it, you feel more comfortable on this. I mean, I have to tell you, I've been on some video classes where I'm like, my hair is still wet, it's up in a bun, and I used to worry about all that stuff, and it's like, you know what?
No, I just put on my glasses, my hair in a bun. One makeup day. Oh, we'll just put on some glasses and call it a day.
Right. So the last part of this is business review. How many deals did you do in 2020? Or how much gross commission did you do in 2020? Or how much was your dollar volume? Whichever one you want to use. Look at what you did. Look at how many were buyers and how many were sellers. And then to project for 2021, you always want to double that number. Now, if you're doing, 500,000 in gross commission, doubling that is a big task, but you want to set your goals high. And if you don't make it, it's okay, but setting your goals high gets you there.
Right. So if you say you did 500 and you want to do 650, but we tell you to do 1 million and you get to 700, that's okay.
Right. Exactly.
It's that whole mindset of, okay, so if I want to do 1 million, then what is that agent? What are they doing in their business? What is that mindset?
Yes.
And that's what you need to get. Because really what your goal is, you need to put yourself in that mindset of what does that look like? What is that agent doing in their business? Because those are the things you need to implement. And that's going to help you reach that goal. Whereas if you think too small, you're going to, only do what you need to do to reach that. And so it's always think bigger.
Correct.
Big.
Correct. So think bigger, double your goals, and then figure out how many buyers or sellers that needs to have, what your conversion is. In other words, if I go on 10 listing appointments, do I get all 10 listings, or do I get 9 listings, or do I get 6 listings? And if you're only getting 6 and you go on 10 appointments, you need to figure out how to up that from 6 to 8. But you also then need to figure out how many listings you need to go on. If your goal is 50 listings, but you're only getting 8 for every 10, I can't do the math in my head, but you get my point.
Right.
So you need to then go on 60 appointments. You need to go on 60 appointments or something like that. So that's what you need to figure out so you can really look at it. And I remember when I first started doing business planning and I first had a business coach, and that's when I first sort of started talking to people about it or posting about it on Facebook, oh, I'm halfway to my goal, or I'm this way. And people would say to me, well, how do you know? Don't you just get people when you get them? Like if we all sat back and just waited for the phone calls, we wouldn't be the successful agents that we are. You need to figure out how you're going to get those appointments, whether it's like the list that we just went through, pick the 10 things. If it's going to start doing the expireds because you hadn't been doing them because you were uncomfortable with the phone call, you need to figure out what those things are, and hopefully you'll be on goal, each month. But sometimes, it's not always that consistent. We always say, take a look back every quarter and see where you are, what worked, what didn't work, because your business plan should be ever evolving. You should always be looking at it. And say you were spending a lot of time on open houses and you're not good at it, but you thought you'd try it this year. And in the first quarter you did, what is that, 90 days, right? In the first quarter, which would be 12 Sundays. Did you not get anything out of that? Well, then maybe you shouldn't be spending the next 12 Sundays doing open houses. So you always want to be looking at your business plan.
And just like your vision board, when in the business planning, like we kind of like for the year, you break it down by the quarter, by the month, by the day, weekday. For me, it's like I have like my quarters and I break them up into months. So on my cork board, right where like my vision board is, what are the things I say I'm going to do for January? Put those up on your cork board in front of your desk so that it's a visual.
Yeah.
When you see it every day, it's like a reminder of the things that you said you were going to do to be able to accomplish a year-end goal. And
exactly. Right. Mine is right. You can't see it, but it's right over there.
It's like it has to be behind my computer.
Yeah.
So it's something that's right there.
These are sitting on my desk, my note cards, so that I know when I come in right in front of my keyboard, I gotta write my note cards today, So yeah, for sure, for sure. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about business planning, Heather posted the link to get the book. If you want a hard copy, let us know and we'll get you a hard copy. It's never too late to do your business plan. I mean, when I started doing business coaching, I started in April and I felt so disjointed. And my coach was like, don't just relax. We'll get it done. You're gonna start from here. That's it. That's what we do.
And I think anytime you join into a coaching program, like basically what our business plan is going to be your first couple sessions. I mean, I know when I did it, like they made me do the numbers and it wasn't fun, but
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. And it was like my first 4 or 5 coaching sessions was working on the business plan and working on my expenses, So, yeah. And so we're here for you. You don't want to do a real coaching plan. I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one or in groups. Heather's there for you to meet with you. So just, we're here.
And I mean, I went to school to be a teacher, so I love giving homework. We meet with you on a weekly or bi-weekly, whatever. I'll give you homework, some tasks, whether our meeting is usually kind of showing you how to do something. And then so that you're comfortable, I'll watch you do it. I'll walk you through it so you can share your screen. We want you to be comfortable, whatever your goal is. So if it has to do with kind of tech and marketing, that's when you'll meet with me. And then with Kerry, with the whole business planning, accountability, all of, the real estate, fun stuff. So we've got you covered on all aspects, whether it be in person, via Zoom for me, since nobody wants to come in the office. So it's so cold up here. So now that I have a Jeep, I'm like,
it's cold here. It's cold here today, and it'll be cold until next week. So my poor
degrees where I'm at right now. And
yeah, I think we're getting a high of 62, maybe.
Yeah, but that was Saturday and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was cloudy and like a high of 40. And I'm like, I just wanted to take the top down and go up to the parkway, and I'm like, it's too cold. So I look forward to going down to Florida and going on the beach.
Right. Yeah.
For sure.
Too cold for that today, but anyway.
Nothing here.
So we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yes, and if there's any topics you have, always put them in the comments so we can revisit them and add them to our list, because we still have to get that together, which I thought we would do in December, and it came and went. But I was busy on the whole she shed thing and crazy holidays, birthdays, all that fun stuff. But great Monday. Happy New Year, everyone. And we're super excited to get this going again.
Yep.
So until next week, wake up, kick ass, and repeat.
See you soon.